Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Stevie.
And
welcome to the Unhinged Smut Book Club podcast.
I don't know if spontaneous ovulation is a thing, but I think I might have experienced it.
We've been doing this for a year.
For a year!
Can't allude to acts of sexual intercourse on this podcast. We're ladies. Do you hear my baby snoring? I hope you do. It's really cute. You're welcome.
I need to be chained up outside. It's truly
just gnawing at the bars of your enclosure. We discuss the most unhinged smut that the publishing world has to offer.
It's a book club, but for sluts.
Don't mind. Baby sounds. We're just gonna go with it, okay? Maybe. She'll calm down. It'll be fine. It's been so long since we recorded in person. This is so fun.
It's only been like a month.
It feels like forever.
It does feel like forever because we've gone through the holidays, all of the holidays. Mm-hmm. You've had so much family in town.
So much family. It's insane. I am very happy to have my house back to myself. Yeah. Except now we're just parents of two on our own. Which is fine.
It's fine.
It's cool.
People used to have like 11 children.
I know. Yeah.
And would still have to like go work in the fields and stuff.
For sure. Yeah. So I'm just going to...
You're doing great.
Bring my children to the fields. This is me bringing my children to the fields.
We're reclaiming motherhood.
Yeah, exactly.
As intended.
Every day is bring your child to work day. It's fine. It's great.
What are we doing today, Stevie?
Today we're doing our 2025 wrap-up.
Yeah.
And you know what that means?
No.
We've been doing this for a year.
For a year.
Like, pretty consistently.
That's so exciting.
Look at us go.
Look at us go.
I'm so proud of us.
I never pulled up the, like, actual date of our first podcast last year. I feel like it was the 28th of December. I'm going to look now, which would mean that yesterday was our 1-year anniversary.
As of recording this.
It would, yeah.
Goodness. I should have gotten us a present.
I know. I didn't even think about it. This is the thing about reclaiming motherhood and...
Yeah, right.
Your brain is in so many different places all the time. Stop it.
All the time.
Okay, let's see. Scroll all the way back. We posted our very first little 4-minute Welcome to the Unhinged Smut Book Club on December 29th, which is today.
Look at that.
Last year. And then our very first episode aired January 5th.
So probably went right around the time this goes up.
Happy birthday.
Happy
to
birthday.
Us. If you've been a listener since the beginning, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Looking at you, Mr. Morgan. And only Mr. Morgan.
He is probably one of our most consistent listeners.
He's our number one fan.
He's
your number one fan. So
truly.
I'm just reaping the benefits. So
he really enjoys, though. He'll tell me all the time. He's like, you and Stevie are just so funny to listen to. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
We have fun.
Yeah, he's a girl's girl, though. So
he is.
He enjoys listening to women tell stories.
I love that about him.
Yeah, me too. That's why I married him.
There you go.
Okay, so today we're going to cover our top 5 books of 2025 that we read. I think last year we did our, like, individually our top 10 books.
That was a lot.
And it was a big episode, and it was a lot.
We were recording on one mic then, I'm pretty sure.
We were,
How cute is that?
We were, like...
Baby podcasters.
Baby podcasters, but also just, like, shoved together super duper close, like, at my kitchen table.
I planned it that way, don't tell her.
Dogs click-clacking everywhere, and yeah, that was a lot. But I think last year, 2024, you and I both read significantly more books than we read this year.
I only read about 5 more books than I read this year.
Really?
I was shocked.
In 2024, I read 90 books, and this year I'm sitting around 65 books.
That's banana. I'm like 51 or something. I just finished one.
Yeah.
52 maybe.
That's crazy.
50 was my goal, so I am happy.
Yeah, 50 was my goal. I was like, if I can put away a book a week, that is like really good progress. But I hit a wall in August. And so
I feel like universally
we probably all did because we all got exhausted with dealing with the bullshit.
Yeah, the world being on fire and late stage capitalism. Anyways, I intentionally left off all my political books, even though I am going to give those a special shout out. I won't be talking about them because we're keeping the mood up today. I'm intent on it.
Yeah, it's our birthday and it's
our
time
birthday.
for celebration.
Yeah. I want to talk about racism on my birthday.
Oh, no. So anyway, we're going to go through our top 5 favorite books of the year, and Stevie also has a couple shout outs to her favorite nonfiction books of the year.
Yes.
I don't have that, but Stevie does. So that is what we're going to do today. And then I have some books that I'm excited for coming out in 2026.
Ooh, nice.
But that's really all we've got for you today. So let's get into it. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
Mine is in no particular order. I also have very minimal notes because I'm a professional.
Have literally no notes.
We're running on vibes. So, starting off with a book I just finished. I'm going to go ahead and say this as a series, not this as a book. It is the Book of Night series by Holly Black, known for Cruel Prince.
Yes.
It was her first step into adult fiction. It's not super spicy at all. There's like one scene in the second book and maybe one or two in the first. And there's just a very mild, like, background romance plot. Hold on, baby Stevie needs to get with the program.
I think she thinks you need to get with the program.
Fair enough. She's like, I want to talk about my favorite books, which are just the black and white high contrast.
Yes.
Y'all should really check those out.
You should.
Get with it. So, yeah, this was her first foray into adult fiction. Which was great because I couldn't get into The Cruel Prince. I think it's because I tried to listen to it, and I'm listening to it. It was like, this is too YA for me. You know what I mean? I can get down with the YA, but sometimes it's too YA.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a little bit of like a bullying element, and I was like, ugh. I got enough of that. I paid my dues being bullied in real life. Thank you so much. I am going to give it another try though, because like I know it's good. I know it's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was excited to read something of hers. And this is great, and the magic system is so fucking interesting. It's shadow magic, but not like shadow daddy magic, like your literal shadow like Peter Pan.
Ooh,
yeah.
fun.
So in this world, they call it quickening your shadow, where your shadow kind of comes alive a little bit and kind of can do your bidding and can solidify a little bit, and you can make it stronger by feeding it blood. And
what?
Yeah, and so you can alter your shadow, so you can do it for like style purposes, but also it can kind of alter your personality a little bit. So you can have your shadow formed into the shape of like a cat. And so there's like piercing studios basically that do shadow alterations.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, right. There are some people who can like possess you with their shadow. There's several different magic types that are related to shadows. All very interesting. But you can also have your shadow stolen. So
a la Peter Pan.
A la Peter Pan. And there's a big thing of like, if you have a quickened shadow, people will steal it so that they can like give it to someone else who doesn't know how to quicken their shadow, because not everybody's shadow comes to life.
Oh.
It's so fucking interesting. And so the main character her name's Charlie. She is this like ex-thief, and then she had basically like things came back to bite her a bit too much, so she's like in retirement, but she was notorious for being really good at what she does and just kind of being a general con artist. And so she gets roped in with the like shadow cabals is what they're called, and has to find this book and steal it from someone. And that's kind of the plot of the first book. And then the second book, she becomes it's gonna spoil the first book, so I can't get too much into the plot of it. She has to work for the cabals essentially, to protect her boyfriend.
Okay.
And the second book is her kind of trying to take down some of the fuckery that's going on of like shadow stealing and blah blah blah, and not die in the process.
That's a really important detail.
Yeah, and then there's also like drama with the boyfriend.
And is it just the 2 books, or are there more?
It's a duology, and now it's done.
Okay.
So, highly recommend. I think I gave the first book 5 stars. The second book was like 4 stars.
Okay.
It's great.
That's a really different magic system.
It's so different, which is my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, I love when a book has a unique magic system to it.
Yeah.
It makes it much more interesting.
Oh, yeah. And I really like all of the characters. Not in the sense of like, I like them, but they're all very, like, real.
Okay.
In a magical world.
Oh, fun.
You get it? Like, you can relate to at least, like, aspects of them.
Yeah. And it sounds like it's giving, like, urban fantasy.
Yes.
So it's set in modern times.
Yeah, like, it's a real world. We stumbled upon some kind of magic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love an urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Because I like when they have cell phones, but also magic.
It's great. It's so fun. What's one of your books from this year?
One of my books, I cannot shut the fuck up about this book, and it was one of the only nonfiction books I read this year. If you've been a listener of the pod, you know what I'm about to say, and that is Dinosaurs at the Dinner Party.
A classic.
Why didn't I write down any authors' names? I think it's Edward Dolnick is his name.
That sounds right.
It does sound right.
That sounds like a dinosaur person's name. Professor Dolnick.
Edward Dolnick, yeah, that is his name. This is a nonfiction book, and it is about the discovery of dinosaurs and basically how an eccentric group of 18th century Victorians found dinosaur fossils and really started revolutionary science practices. And this book I listened to the audiobook of it, and it took me a while to read it because it is nonfiction. But the narrator was a female narrator, and so it kept it really, really fresh, and it kept it really interesting. The first half of the book focuses on the early part of dinosaur discovery, and it really gives, I think what I appreciate so much about it is it really gives a lot of credit to this woman called Mary Anning, who is the mother of fossils, basically. She lived in a place in southern England, and she discovered the very first and second plesiosaur complete fossils.
So cool.
She also found an ichthyosaur, and she made a ton of contributions to science. She was obviously, this was the 1800s, she was not paid adequately for it, and she was not properly credited for any of it, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And the author does a really good job of drawing your attention to that like this woman was underpaid, underfunded, undercredited,
outgunned, outmanned, outnumbered, outplanned.
And just that Mary Anning didn't get the credit that she deserves for her contributions to the scientific world in that time. Nowadays, she would get all of the flowers, all of the money, all the credit, but you don't often get from men like a good perspective of like what women went through and how they were put at a disservice. The language was also incredibly intentional in this book, which again, from a man, you don't always get. So lots of use of like gender neutral, if they didn't know. I think the use of unhoused was in here, and like just several other, when he talked about people being enslaved, instead of saying the slaves or the slave owners, he would say the enslaved people, or their kidnappers, like just really intentional language. And so I appreciated that from the history book, but it really shifted my perspective on a lot of things, especially when it came to science versus religion and how the two used to work together and how they work separately now. And just the whole fun and wacky time of like finding these giant bones and people trying to figure out what they were.
But can you imagine a discovery like that today?
No.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. And at a time when you don't understand how things work too, right? This would be like if we dug up an alien civilization under the ground.
Honestly, yeah. Like found Atlantis.
And they have technology that we have no clue about. It truly, because we know so much now, and in the 1800s they didn't. And so a lot of science was trying to explain their relationship on Earth with God. Like, there weren't scientists. That phrase wasn't coined until close to the 1900s. People who did science were usually men of faith, and they were funded by the church to explain they were called like naturalists, and they wanted to explain the relationship between Earth and God. That was such a fun perspective flip for me, and the way that there used to be so much gratitude for like, and wonder and awe about the world that we live in, because that's how I feel. Sometimes I like take a step back. We can just be driving in the car and I'll like see a sign, you know, like a mileage sign or like an exit sign. And I look at that and I'm like, all of those materials came from this planet.
Right.
Either naturally or
came
someone's brain.
An exploding star.
It is truly incredible. I want to read more books about, I hate space. I don't want to know anything about space. Space truly freaks me out.
Space is none of my business.
Space is none of my business, respectfully. It's like what's happening at the bottom of the ocean. Respectfully, none of my business.
No, as long as you stay there, we're cool.
I'm gonna mind my own business over here. I do not need to know about what's happening in places I will never see.
Right?
No, thank you. But it is my goal to try to read more about astronomy and the world around us and kind of like how things influenced the world that we live in now. But yeah, sometimes I just look at the world that we live in and I am overwhelmed with the magnitude of the life that we live. And it all came from this, like, how lucky are we, you know? And so Dinosaurs at the Dinner Party really focuses heavy on that aspect of it and how people used to look at the world that we live in relationship with their own religion. And I learned so many weird and wacky random facts about like Great Britain in general, about Brighton. I could talk to you about Brighton, but like I learned about Brighton and how Brighton used to be a place people didn't go to because they thought there were pirates there and big krakens that would eat you if you came into the water. And like one Victorian man of faith doctor scientist found an old Bible verse and was like, the ocean water's healing, and let me open up. What are the places people would go when they had tuberculosis? What are those things called? Sanatoriums. He opened up the largest sanatorium in England, and people would come to visit him for all sorts of ailments, including tuberculosis. And it all had to do with like going to the seawater. And that really, really big house that's in Brighton that's like super famous, that was the sanatorium. And he is what put Brighton on the map, basically.
I'm going to use that to shout out one of my first nonfiction books, which you will second, which is Everything is Tuberculosis.
Oh my God. John Green. That was a really good book.
Yeah.
That was a really, really good book. But who would have thought that like the two nonfiction books that I would read this year both would have shout outs to tuberculosis in them?
Because everything is tuberculosis.
Because everything is tuberculosis.
Dinosaurs, tuberculosis.
John Green would absolutely. Brighton, tuberculosis.
Yeah. Half the towns west of the fucking Mississippi. Tuberculosis. But
yeah, that is, I cannot stop talking about this book of like a really fun and whimsical way to talk about the discovery of dinosaurs. It is a really good book to shift your perspective. It's lighthearted. It's really a lot of fun. And I can't recommend that book enough to people who want to dip their toe into nonfiction but still be entertained.
Yeah. And have a little sense of wonder.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump to werewolf romance.
Okay. I'm going to cough. Hang on. It feels like there's something like in my throat.
Gross.
Yeah. And nope, we're going to swallow that comment, which is also a joke that I probably should not have said.
I'm assuming it's about sucking dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know, don't say on this podcast. Can't allude to acts of sexual intercourse on this podcast. We're ladies. Okay, so this book I put on here, I did rate it high, but it was like a pleasant surprise because it was just scrolling on Libby. I'm in the mood for werewolf romance, specifically what's available right now. And it's a book called The Marriage Hex by Sarah Blue.
I've downloaded that book and I have not read it.
It's cute.
Is it?
It's a good one.
Good.
Yeah, and it's, she grew up in this, like, orphan school, basically, and the female main character is a witch, doesn't really know it, grows up in this orphan school. Male main character, werewolf, didn't know it till he was a little bit older. Hint, hint, this orphan school is just collecting magical children.
Yep.
And so, she, like, didn't know her mom, like, didn't know how she ended up at the school.
Most orphans don't.
Thank you. for that one. I walked right into that one. Fair enough. Anyways. Didn't know her mom's, like, story, basically. Didn't know, like, did she die? Did she abandon me? Like, that type of vibe. And there's this boy there. They're best friends, but they both are, like, secretly in love with each other.
Obviously.
And then on her 16th birthday, they make this pact of, if we're not married by the time we're 30, you know, classic, we'll marry each other.
Yeah, of course.
AKA, I want to marry you. Please be single forever until I can convince you to marry me.
I mean, that's why Taylor Swift wrote Enchanted, right? Please don't be in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
Please don't have somebody waiting on you.
Well, whoopsie doopsie daisy. She didn't know she was a witch.
Oops.
Magic spelled it. And so he comes into town. Witches and werewolves in this town don't get along. Like, mortal enemies. Ooh. And he's the new alpha in their local pack. And they walk into their, like, magic meeting with, I think vampires are there too. And they lock eyes. Oh, because, like, right after her 16th birthday, Grandma shows up out of nowhere. And is like, you're coming with me. And she's like, can I say goodbye? No. Gotta go. By the way, you're a witch and have magical powers. Everyone's dream. Except Grandma, kind of a bitch. Tiny spoiler alert, but you pick up on it. He walks into the magic meeting, and she's like, oh, shit. It's the love of my life from childhood that I never forgot about. But I'm a witch now, and I can't love him because...
we don't do that.
It is written. 'Tis forbidden. And it is like a modern...
What are they, German?
Like a urban romance type of thing. It's like real world. They're like very True Blood vibes. Do you hear my baby snoring? I hope you do. It's really cute. You're welcome.
Stevie's wearing her on a carrier, so she's right up next to the microphone.
Right up next to the mic. It is what it is.
She's closer to the microphone than Stevie is.
Right. I'd rather her snore in the microphone than scream 2 feet away from the microphone.
Absolutely.
So he comes into town right around, conveniently, her 30th birthday. And they both wake up and are just, like, compulsively pulled to the courthouse on her birthday. Like, she's in a nightgown, like a sexy nightgown, of course, because it has to be. And they, like, are magically compulsed to get, like, married by a justice of the peace that day. And that's not enough, because they can't just be like, okay, we're married, we'll ride this out. Maybe spell didn't say we couldn't get divorced. So, no. He tries to go home and go to bed. Magic spell goes, no, get the fuck up, bitch. And he shows up at her door and is like, hey, so I think I have to sleep here. And so it's very much forced marriage. It's very much forced proximity on top of that. And then I don't even know what they're trying to figure out. Maybe, like, why the witches and werewolves don't get along and, like, what the fucking problem is. I would want to know that. And then, you know, it's always like, we're going to solve this one small thing. And then it ends up being like a whole big discovery of something nefarious happening.
Every time.
And so they work on that together. And I was expecting like a hee ha ha, quick little sexy nodding situation, which there is that. But it turned out being really good. So that one gets in here because... surprised by how good it was.
Surprise.
I had low expectations. High reward.
Good. I love that. What's the next one I want to talk about? I'm just going to go down in order. Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang.
Yeah, you had to talk about that one.
Yeah. Did you have a feeling I was going to be in this top 5?
It had to be.
It's so incredibly impactful, and we're reading it for the Neighborhood Book Club. That's January's book of the month, because I've put it in the pool so many times, and I'm really excited for more people to read it because I think it has a really good time and place, and I think it gives people a lot of really good reflection. So, Blood Over Brighthaven is a book that is kind of an urban fantasy, but you're getting like steampunk 1930s, 1940s vibes alongside of all of it. The magic system in this one was really unique to me, because the way that they source power from the magic in this world is through like a coding system. So they write these big long codes and it sources power from different parts of this grid that they have set up. And the main character is Siona Freinen, and Siona is a woman who wants to be inducted into the Mages Society, but the mages only take men. And they only take women every 10 years. And the women have to pass this really hard exam. But women aren't given the same opportunities to education and training and studying that boys are. So there's a lot of pressure on these women who want to be inducted to the Mages Society. But Siona is so incredibly smart, and she's determined. And it's all she's been thinking about for her whole entire life. So with that kind of in mind, you wind up dealing with a lot of patriarchy in it, and the way how women show up in men's spaces of like tech and things like that, where women are often pushed out from these male dominated fields because men can be atrocious to the other women.
Or even when they're nice, it's like, you'll take meeting notes, right, secretary? Because you're the one with the vagina.
There is a lot of that for Siona as well.
You'll plan the office party, right? Because you're a woman.
You're just so much better at it.
You're so good at it.
You have such an eye for detail.
You'd enjoy that.
Ugh. Yeah. So you get a lot of that with Siona, and a lot of it is really relatable as a woman. On the other side of this, there's this whole society. This city that Siona lives in is kind of like a dome. And the magic is wild on the outside of it. And there's like a 2-mile radius, like all the way around the dome, where if you can cross it and you can get into the city, you can be an immigrant in the city. They will take you in, kind of like a sanctuary. And it's not super safe outside of this city because there's this thing called the blight where people just disappear. They're just like eaten up by this like light, and people are trying to get into the city because there's no blight inside the city because that's part of the dome and they figured it out. This book ties in religion and almost like a manifest destiny of a lot of things in it. It's really, the politics of this book are really good, but there are people who are trying to get in all the time, and if you can get past the crossing and you can get past the blight, you can come into the city and you can live. And if you have your eyes open at any point during American history or just history in general, or even the way things look right now, there's usually like one message that we give to the public, which is like, we let immigrants in and we give them jobs, and, you know, people come in, and then there's like the reality that the immigrants live of like, we give them jobs, but they're only in factories where the chemicals that are being used are incredibly harmful to women and they can't reproduce, or people are losing their limbs, or the immigrant children aren't allowed to go to school, or the immigrant children are allowed to go to school, but rent for these people in these boroughs is so expensive, so the children wind up having to go to work, you know? And, like, nobody really cares about the immigrants. They're treated as less than. And Siona winds up with he's a janitor. His name is Tommel. And he's a janitor in the building that she works at. She does, spoiler, get inducted into the Mages Society. And there's no assistant for Siona in her lab. There's no assistant to help her do anything. Or, like, the men won't work for her. The other men in the Mages Society who are the assistants won't work for her because she's a woman. And the men bullyingly, jokingly assigned Siona a lab assistant of Tommel, who was the janitor in the building. So Tommel doesn't know anything. He didn't know how to do anything. And it was in an effort to try to bully her out of this, or for another lab to absorb her as an assistant in their lab. And she was like, nah, fuck this. I've not fought my whole entire life to let you guys bully me out of this. And so her and Tommel work together. But there are times when she treats Tommel really, really terribly because that is just what is standard for her. So, like, you have a lot of empathy for Siona and what she has to deal with, but then you also have a lot of rage at Siona because of how she treats the other people around her. And you go through the book of her discovering a secret that the city is holding on to that is really damaging to her and really damaging to Tommel, and a lot of politics involved with it, a lot of what is the right thing to do here, and kind of going with all of that. If I say any more, it will completely give the book away, and I don't want to do that. But the range of emotions that this book takes you through, I think, is really good. And it was something that I can't stop thinking about it. And even when I figured it out, I didn't figure it out, actually. I didn't figure it out before the main character had figured anything out, like the big like reveal and plot twist. But it took me by surprise, and I knew how the book was going to end because I knew. That's what made the most sense to me. And it was satisfying, but it was really, really sad, you know? So it just takes you through a wide range. I think it's really fun commentary on politics and religion and immigrants and the way society is set up. And fun is not the correct word, but interesting. I like when books put very thinly veiled references to the world that we actually live in, because I think for people like me and you who are very aware of the world that we live in, we're like, oh yeah, I absolutely see that. I know exactly where you drew that from. But for people who might not be aware of the world that we live in and need that message, the veil is just thin enough for them to see it, and it might trigger something in their brain to look at things differently in real life. And so that is why I like that book a lot.
That is kind of the point of a lot of art. Yeah.
Is to say something. What's your next one?
I can keep it on patriarchy, or I can go lighter.
Keep it on patriarchy. Let's just get it over with.
Burn through it. The series that starts with a study in drowning. I think it's a duology as well, and the second book is out. I still have not finished the second book because patriarchy, and it makes me mad to read it, and I have enough to be mad about currently. However, the writing is so fucking pretty.
And this is by Ava Reid, is the
Ava Reid,
author.
Yes. It's a type of post-apocalyptic, I think.
Okay.
Because it's kind of UK. There was a big, they call it the drowning incident, where like ocean levels rose. I have words and speak English. Where like sea levels have risen to the point where it's like changed the shape of the island, but like there's conflict between people in the south and people in the north, a la England, Scotland. The people in the south are posh, the people in the north are kind of country bumpkin-y, very England.
Very England.
And there is so much classism. England, sorry, love you guys, but holy shit.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. And part of this is like a new kind of religion has cropped up, where there are these like great people, and they were real people, but because of their greatness, their bodies are kept in this like special place, and they like keep the world from having another drowning incident. They have an essence that protects the world.
This sounds like a magic system you really just need to read.
You really do, right? Because it's not spelled out for you. It's like trickled in, that type of writing. And one of these great people is an author who wrote this book about like a fae king. And she is a super fan. Think of it as like Harry Potter, who, you know, if only we knew who wrote that book. It's such a shame. But in the sense of it's like such a cultural staple where like everyone, if you haven't read it, you know it type of thing. And it's like super important to their culture. And because he's so great, he's like protecting them from another drowning event in the south in this war with the north. Whole fucking thing. So she is at university and wants to be in the literature program, specifically studying this book and this author because she's, a super fan, but they don't let women in specifically to literature. So she's like, I guess I'll study, I don't know, fucking architecture.
Boo.
Which, like, that's quite a jump, and she hates it, and it's a lot of math, which is so the farthest thing from literature. But this competition pops up where to essentially renovate and restore this author's house. And so she enters it, gets selected, and so she's there, she's doing a lot of research, and then there's another person there who's in the literature program, but he's from the north, right? So they're both kind of, basically she's a woman and he's an immigrant. that kind of vibe. And I'm doing a really good job explaining this one.
So good. I think it tripped you up when you had to stand up.
It did.
To rock the baby.
And also, she ate all my brain cells in the womb. So fucking deal with it. It's also such a complicated system. It doesn't read complicated, but it is complicated to explain. It's complex. And so there's this other guy there who is in the literature program, and he's researching this author at his house while she's there. They kind of have academic rivals vibes that turns into a romance. And in addition to what's going on here, they're working kind of parallel to each other, getting in each other's way. He doesn't think highly of this author. He's like, something's up. I don't think he wrote the book. And she's like, how fucking dare you? But they kind of end up researching that. She's kind of starts it as like wanting to prove him wrong and also put off doing any architecture because she fucking hates it. That's what she's there to do. And happening at the same time, the female main character, would be great if I remembered her name. Unimportant.
Not today.
Not today. She has like hallucinations. Like she's medicated and she hallucinates this Fae king.
Well, fuck.
Yeah. And it's getting worse. There's one scene where she throws herself out of a moving car because she sees him in the car. Like it's dramatic. And then those plot points kind of smash into each other. The whole book is kind of, is magic real? Is it not? Is this person a charlatan? Should this person be celebrated even though he sucks? Very much like, we used to love this person. We've learned more about him and have different perspective now as time has passed. Can we still celebrate him for great things when he sucks in a lot of ways, which is, you know, relatable to a lot going on in the world, and just ongoing social commentary.
Truly.
Then there's also, is magic fucking real, dog? Holy shit. And then the second book is like, is magic real? Let's look into that. And I'm a little bit into that, but again, the patriarchy themes were really fucking pissing me off, so I had to put it down for a while.
Yeah.
But I gotta get back to it because I cannot stress enough how fucking pretty her writing is. It's so poetic without being pretentious. She's so talented. And she's so young. I don't know how old she is, but I follow her on Instagram and just visibly, she's so fucking young. I'm like, how?
That's how I feel about Adeline Grace, who wrote the Belladonna series.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, you look like a baby.
I know.
You look so young and little. She has a new book coming out next year.
Nice.
Very excited about it. Anyway.
And that's it for me. So that is the Steady and Drowning duology by Ava Reed.
Move away from patriarchy.
Hell yeah.
Let's move it up to something fun. This also should not be a surprise to anybody. Deep End by Allie Hazelwood is one of my top 5 books of the year.
Had to get an Allie Hazelwood in there.
Had to get an Allie Hazelwood book in there. And I was torn between Deep End and Not in Love. Because I think people who, if you're an Allie Hazelwood fan, people who talk shit about Not in Love are wrong. And I hate them. People say who it's her weakest book are wrong. And I hate them. But Deep End it caused a lot of controversy earlier in the year when it came out because some people were saying it was like so hot, so filthy, so spicy. And then other people were like, this is the most vanilla sex I've ever seen. So it became like Schrodinger's smut book. Like, is it actually spicy or is it not? And I'm here to tell you it is spicy, but at the same time, it also is vanilla. So the book follows Scarlett Vandermeer is what her name is. She's a diver at some college in California. I want to say UCLA. She's in the medical program. She's pre-med. And she is coming back to diving after having an injury. And you follow a lot of that, of like her own mental block of trying to get out of it. She had kind of a traumatic childhood. She wound up living with her stepmom after her dad became abusive, and her stepmom was like, we're out of here. And so her stepmom like took her from her dad and raised her. I think her mom died when she was really young. I read this in February. I don't remember. The main male character is Lucas Bloomquist. He's Swedish, and he's a swimmer, and he's like a multi-time Olympian. He's also in pre-med. He's a year or two older than her. And Scarlett walks in on the captain of the dive team talking to her best friend about a problem that's going on with Lucas. And it's basically Lucas wants to dive into like kinkier sex, and Penny just isn't into it. And so Scarlett is like, hey, why don't we go have coffee and talk about it? Because Scarlett is into it. And so what winds up happening is Penny and Lucas break up, and Penny basically blabs to Lucas that like Scarlett's into kink stuff as well. And she's like, you guys should like hook up. You should get together. And they wind up doing just that. And so it's two people who are into kink but have never had a chance to explore kink before. So it's like very kink light. But, Allie Hazelwood can write the house down boots when it comes to smut. Mm-hmm. So it is truly some of her most erotic work. It's just really good. Because Scarlett wants to be a submissive and Lucas wants to be a dominant. Mm. And so if you're into that and like people exploring that and like the language that a dominant would use in that kind of kink relationship, you're really going to be into it. I don't know if spontaneous ovulation is a thing, but I think I might have experienced it when I read Deep End.
I love that for you.
It was good. And I was, I think, actively on my period.
I just sent you something on Instagram that said, at some point I have to stop blaming ovulation and just accept that this is my personality.
No, it absolutely is just my personality. Yeah. I go completely feral when I ovulate. That's the difference, right? When we talked about mate and you were like, apparently when you go into heat, if you don't have like lots of sexual like explode or something. And I was like, I'm familiar with the concept. Yes. Like, there's general horniness that I experience on, like, a day-to-day level, and then when I get to ovulation, I need to be chained up outside. It's truly...
just gnawing at the bars of your enclosure.
Sometimes I feel as though I am. The writing in it is really good, and like contemporary romance from Allie Hazelwood, you get... these female characters are full of depth and nuance, and you get that from them. Scarlett winds up dealing with the mental block and the anxiety that comes with coming back to a sport after an injury, or just an injury that really set you back in general. And you're dealing with Lucas's childhood trauma, which is losing his mother very early on. And you get to see a lot of that, and a lot of them work through, like, this is only either of our, like, second ever relationship. And, like, what does this mean? And how do we do this? How do we communicate? How do we make this work? And it's very hot, it's very sexy, but also a lot of just realness to characters, which I really appreciate from Allie Hazelwood's writing.
Yeah, I mean, if she can do that with, like, werewolves and vampires.
That's exactly it, right? Yeah. I talk a lot about Allie Hazelwood in our recaps, or at least this last year, because I set out to read all of her works this year, but we talked about it in Mate, that Serena has a complete character arc, and she's not just this one-dimensional character, and she's represented in a lot of different ways, and a lot of growth that is identifiable to a lot of women all over the world. So
love to see it.
If you're going to pick up one contemporary romance book from Allie Hazelwood, I would say start with Deep End, because that'll really set the tone for her writing for the rest of them.
Nice. The next one I'll do is another series as a whole, which I've only read a couple of books from, but I feel confident. The Leviathan Fitness series by Ashley Bennett. It is short little books. Every one is like, there might be some kind of conflict or problem, because obviously there has to be a plot, but like, they're going to be in love and be happily ever after through the whole thing. Super fluffy. It is a world where... Yes, ma'am. Where magical creatures have kind of come out of the closet, so to speak. So again, real world, a little bit of magic. The first book is a werewolf one, but he's like a wolf man.
A wolf man.
It is not a shifter. It is wolf person, stands on hind legs, has a six-pack, hot, owns a gym. A lot of the plot like starts with this couple and then branches out of their friends for the other books.
Yeah, interconnected standalones.
Exactly. The other one that I read was about her brother, who's gay and a little monster-phobe, and we get tentacly in that one. It was fantastic. Really put me on a crack and kick for a second there. But yeah, they're like perfect palate cleanser books. Silly hee hee ha ha. Not even like gratuitous smut, even though they're obviously like a smutty novella.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful. I love them. They're a good time.
Good.
Highly recommend. What's yours?
Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I read this book in like the springtime, I think, but it came out January of 2025. It is a contemporary romance, and if you are going to read it, which I think you should, I think this is probably one of like my top book of the year, because you will feel a full range of emotions, and it is so warm and so fluffy with such good character arcs. The female main character, Lenny, that is not her real name, but that is what we call her. Lenny's best friend died, and basically she's just trying to figure out how to live her life after her best friend died. And she has this list that she carries around of basically like stuff that she was going to do before, or it was like, it's called like the live again list, stuff to do after her best friend has died. And she's trying to do all that. Lenny basically just takes odd jobs because she's so deep in grief she can't like hold anything down. And she's really, really good with kids, and she winds up babysitting and watching this little girl to a single mom. Single on purpose, basically was like, I'm at the age I'm going to have a daughter. And Lenny just wants to do like one-time babysitting gigs for people because she doesn't want to disappoint anybody. But this little girl loves Lenny so much, and eventually like tries to, like the mom tries to talk Lenny into staying full-time.
Love the name Lenny for a girl, by the way. Adorable.
At the same time, I cannot remember the mom's name, but the mom's brother, her half-brother, lives upstairs above her, and his name is Miles, and he is trying to basically, they were estranged their whole life to each other. Their dad was a famous rock star, and one of them was basically like a hidden baby. It was Miles, and they didn't really figure it out until they got to be older. And Miles desperately wants a relationship with his sister and with his niece. Desperately. And that's why he moved to New York versus where he was living. And that's why he opted to live in the apartment above his sister, just so also he could be closer. And Lenny is so good with people, and Miles is so not good with people, that he basically is like, I will help you check these things off. He was like, I recognize you. I see you in this grief because I have lived that life as well. So I will help you kind of like get your groove back if you will help me build this relationship with my sister and my niece. And it is a friends to lovers, kind of like a forced proximity thing, but they truly develop this beautiful friendship with each other. The explorations of grief and the idea of like people pulling you back from the brink in your grief and setting you right again. It is
very up your street.
Yeah. I don't know how, I don't want to ever assume like what people's grief looks like, and like grief looks different for everybody, but for me, it definitely explored a lot of the things that I went through with grief after my mom died. And I think for a lot of people, it will be identifiable. The way that like you pull away from people, you can't go to like your old haunts anymore, just things like that, you know, where it's really difficult, and you're just trying to do things to keep you out of your grief. You know, if you keep your brain busy, you don't have to think about how sad you are and how much everything sucks. And so I really enjoyed that from Lenny's perspective. I enjoyed that there was somebody to kind of walk her through it and be there for her, and the relationship between them felt so authentic. One of my top books, like I think my top book of the year, was Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone, and I think everyone should read it.
Aw.
Yeah.
Cute one. I'm gonna keep it on a cute vein.
Cute.
But again, fluffier. Man, I truly am realizing a pattern. I was so fluffy this year.
I too.
I started this year with a lot of heavy nonfiction because I was angry at the world, and I still am, but then it was unsustainable what I was doing, and it got so light and fluffy. So anyways, kind of the series of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, but specifically the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, I loved. It was so fucking cute. She is a manager at a bookstore, and she keeps finding these books that are like not on the right shelf, and she'll pick it up, realize a page is dog-eared and something's highlighted in it.
What the fuck?
Right? And so one of her friends jokingly is like, maybe someone's leaving you clues for something. And like one of them mentions like a blueberry field, and her friend owns a farm, and so she like goes to the blueberry field and runs into this man who's like the town fuckboy, but is hot because, I mean, if you're gonna be a fuckboy, you gotta be hot. Hello. And things kind of just keep leading back to him. She explains the situation, and she's like, I'm about to turn 30, so before my 30th birthday, I want to have like a fun, like a little bit reckless summer. And so he like takes her out on his boat, and she hooks up with a town fuckboy, and like, you know, kind of the things that you would normally do in your early 20s, but she skipped that because she's always been a play it safe kind of person. And it's very much a will they or won't they, like they're obviously super attracted to each other, obviously have a friendship established too and really like each other. He's a little bit younger than her and has a reputation, and he has this whole like I'm not good enough for anyone complex that he's getting through, and they fall in love and
obviously
live happily ever after, right? Because that's not even a spoiler, because the books I'm reading, again, you know it's going to have a happy ending, because that's what I want right now. And it was just really fucking cute. So yeah, light and fluffy.
My last one is a lighter and fluffier one.
Love it.
It is When I Think of You by Maya Ariel. It was this author's debut novel, and she came out fucking swinging.
Nice.
Also a contemporary romance. It is a second chance romance between two people who were together in college, and there was like a weird pull away and breakup kind of situation. They were both in film school together, and she really wanted to be a producer. He really wanted to make films, and his dad was a director as well, so he kind of had like this legacy. They have this weird and awkward breakup, and years later they wind up running into each other. She is a receptionist at a movie studio, and he's coming in as a director to talk about a project, and he sees her at the receptionist desk and is basically like, what are you doing here? Why are you? And she's like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you about this. I don't want to talk to you about any of it. This is how my life has gone. Your life has gone way differently because you have had access and affluence to help you with everything. Like, you are talented, but you've had access and affluence, and I haven't had any of that. And so this is where I'm at right now. I can't get anybody to take me seriously. Leave me alone. And he's like, no, this isn't going to work. And he basically puts her on to work on the film that he's working on. And he is dating someone else. She's not dating anybody. And they keep like coming together and like having these feelings and emotions. And obviously he breaks up with that girlfriend and they wind up together again. But it was so beautifully written. The plot was so believable. The characters were so believable. The motivation behind everything was really believable. The sex scenes were really great. There was only a handful of them. My favorite part is the second chance turns, it's not instantaneous. It's not we see each other and it's been years and like, oh, I can't wait to have you back in my arms. There is yearning from both of them that is palpable, but also at the same time, we live in reality, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you have a girlfriend, or you broke up with me in a really shitty way and you haven't acknowledged and apologized for it. Or we walk these different paths right now and this can't be. And when they do finally get together, it has its moment. And she is a grown-ass woman, and she says, I need space. If I come back to you, and if we can do this, that's great. But I need to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. Like, thank you for your help. Thank you for the doors you've opened up for me. But I need to be able to stand on my own 2 feet and live my life and hit my goals by myself. And I need to do that. I love that representation for a career-driven woman and somebody who is like willing to put love and happiness and all of that on the back burner to focus on their career and to focus on not even just career, but like reaching their dreams and reaching their goals. And that is represented so beautifully here. And the relationship that they have and maintain through that time is really beautiful. The way that they get back together at the end is really beautiful. It's a very nice love story There's sadness, there's excitement, there's love, there's hope, there's all of the things. And this was Maya's debut novel. I'm so excited. She had another book that came out last year. I did not read it, but it is on my TBR. I'm so excited to continually read what she puts out because it was written so beautifully. If somebody comes out swinging with their debut novel, they're probably an auto-buy author for me. And I did buy the book. I just haven't read it yet, which is the tale's oldest time, isn't it?
Right? Yeah, truly. Well, that sums up our top 5 books of 2025.
Yeah. What were the 2 nonfiction books that you wanted to shout out?
Shout out, because they changed my brain chemistry. That would be Cast by Isabel Wilkerson. Life-changing. And When They Call You a Terrorist by Patrice Kahn Colors. Life-changing.
Yes, which Patrice was one of the founding women of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah. Both of them deal heavily in race and just like really...
It's like race and gender politics a lot.
Yeah, like perspective shifting in a big way. It opened my mind in a way I didn't know I needed it. It was awesome.
Okay, while I don't have nonfiction books to shout out, I do have some things that I want to put on your radar, which is, I have not read The Night in the Moth yet by Rachel Gillig, which is that she wrote One Dark Window.
Ooh, yeah.
So she released a book in May called The Night in the Moth.
I want to read that too.
I do. I have, again, I bought the book. I even bought the audiobook too. Still haven't gotten around to it. But book 2, which is called The Knave and the Moon, is coming out in 2026. And the new series by Adeline Grace, who wrote Belladonna, which is called The Wretched Divine, is coming out this next year. So those are 2 books I'm looking forward to in the coming year. And then obviously anything else that Allie Hazelwood puts out. And more books about space and, not space, but like astronomy. Astronomy, not space.
Ice Planet Barbarians. That's what you're saying. For sure. Read all like 40 of those books.
Sure.
Just kidding. Just on a mission. That's your new Allie Hazelwood. Instead of every Allie Hazelwood, every Ice Planet Barbarian.
Every Ruby Dixon.
There you go.
Collecting them like infinity stones.
There you go. All right. Well,
that's it. That's the end of the episode. Thanks so much for reading with us this last year. Thanks for listening to us. Thank you for supporting us. We really appreciate you guys. So, with the last sign off of 2025, I'm Morgan. Thanks for reading with us.
And I'm Stevie. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with chaos, kink, and questionable literary choices.
Until next time, keep it spicy.